I got myself a Traeger a few months back, and today for the very first time I'm going to make a smoked pork butt to make pulled pork with. I'm not going to do any fat trimming off this pork butt. I'm also going to be shooting for an internal temperature of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. You can pull it off once it hits 195 if you wish. This is going to be a long cook, so let's go ahead and get started. I have almost a 6-pound pork butt. Before I season this pork butt up, I am going to use a binder to help that seasoning stick. I'm just going to use plain old yellow mustard. You don't need to use anything if you don't want to, but this will help the seasoning stick a little better. You can also use an oil, but we do not need too much of this mustard. I'm going to get some on here and I'm going to rub it all around this pork butt. Flip it over and get the other side. For the seasoning today, I think I'm going to use a little bit of this butt rub. This is pretty salty, so I'm not going to go too heavy on this. And then I'm going to go on top with this Lone Star brisket by Pit Boss, and I'm going to season every nook and cranny. Now that I have this all seasoned up, I'm going to let it sit here and rest for a little bit so that seasoning can start to get to work and penetrate into the meat. So while it's doing that, I'm going to head on outside, get my Traeger going, and I'm going to set that temperature to 225 degrees. By the way, I'm using hickory pellets. Not much more to do here, probably for a good 2.5 to 3 hours. At the 3-hour mark is when I'm going to put my temperature probe in. No need to do that right now. Once I get that probe in, we want that to hit 160 degrees. That's when we take the pork butt out and wrap it up in foil because we don't want it to take on any more smoke at that time. Otherwise, the outside bark might get bitter and we don't want that. All right, we are 2 hours in. I am going to spritz this with some water mixed with some apple cider vinegar. This is looking just a little dry to me. Okay, I'm going to close the lid. Gonna let this go for another hour and then I'll put that temperature probe in. And let's get our probe in. Okay, once this hits 160 degrees Fahrenheit, we're gonna pull it off and wrap it in foil. Get my probe back in here. Dang, that is good. Honestly, after I pulled that pork butt off, I should have let it rest for at least 30 minutes. I think I only gave it about 10. I was starving. This cook took a lot longer than I thought. I have learned one thing. If you are going to smoke, you are going to need some patience. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.